Here is a Quorum fan. I forget what the model number is. I'll post it into the video box. This is a 52-inch polished brass model. These are the medium oak blades. They are reversible to I think it's a walnut color. There's the UL information. And where is the model number? Here it is. There's the model number. It's a crazy long string of characters. 73 watts. So it doesn't draw much power at all. For the price paid, I am very impressed with this. Unfortunately, this model has recently been discontinued, I believe, and so Quorum is selling off all the remaining stock at a very cheap price. I paid less than $20 for the motor, and I think maybe $16 for the blades, which is about as cheap as you can get a ceiling fan for nowadays. And usually at that price you're going to be looking at some 42-inch hugger thing from a big box store. I don't really have much experience with the Quorum brand besides this, but from what I understand, it's supposed to be one of the nicer brands out there, at least as far as the fans of today are concerned. So I'll go ahead and start it up now. It's got a really pronounced startup sound, so I'll keep the camera close to the motor for the startup. Alright, so it's up to speed now, and performance-wise, it's pretty good. It moves a nice amount of air. Actually moves quite a bit of air for a newer fan. It's a pretty steady, strong breeze directly underneath it, and you can feel the air moving throughout the entire room. Feel the air recirculating quite nicely. So it's definitely circulating the air around pretty good. See, this plant is moving. So it's not bad. It's not silent, but there's nothing other than wind noise. There's no motor hum, there's no vibrations, there's no shaking. It runs very nicely. The blade pitch isn't bad. I believe it came with a 3 and a 6-inch down rod. This is the 6-inch. It's on an 8-foot ceiling. I like to use the 6 or an 8-inch down rod for an 8-foot ceiling. I like to keep the unit as far away from the ceiling as possible to get the most air over the top of the fan. Gives you better performance that way. It's kind of a small motor. It's probably only a 153. I don't know what the top, the height dimensions are, but it's pretty small. For the size of the motor, this throws out some pretty solid air. This is very, very reasonable. And it's a nice looking fan too. This is available in quite a few different finishes, or rather it was available in quite a few different finishes. And it's one of few traditional styled fans remaining on the market today. And while it is still remaining on the market, the days are definitely numbered. Alright, let's go down to the medium. And I think it does have a kind of a sound as it changes speed, so I'll take the camera back close up and we'll go down to medium. Well, I didn't hear anything, so maybe I was just recalling incorrectly. The only comment I will give about this fan is that the pull chain isn't very smooth. You probably could hear it pulling one beat at a time, unless you pull it very much out to the right, and that's kind of why the fan was crooked at the beginning of the video, because you have to pull it out to the right for it to work well. It doesn't pull very nicely, but that's really my only complaint about the fan. So medium is just about silent. Can't really hear much of any wind noise at all. It's calmed down considerably from high. I would say it's closer to low than high, but there is still a good amount of air moving around the room. That plant's still getting a nice airflow over there. The papers are moving a little bit. Not a tremendous amount, but the air is definitely there. So it's still circulating the air around the room. And right underneath it, you can definitely still feel a good amount of air. And it's very quiet. It's almost inaudible just over the sounds from the window being open, the birds chirping and the traffic noise and whatnot. It's almost completely inaudible. Okay, now we'll go down to the low. And see, if you pull it out to the side, it operates much more smoothly, but now the fan is crooked again. And the low drops down quite a bit again from medium, so the speed range is not bad. I think the medium could be a little bit faster, but actually the speed range kind of follows like hunter fans, I find, where the medium is closer to low. It's a pretty reasonable low speed. I'd like it to be a little bit slower for aesthetic purposes, but as far as air movement goes, there is still air moving. And it's a noticeable amount too, it's not a useless amount. It's a very reasonable, calm, low speed. I can feel it underneath there from a distance. It's a little bit of air. Enough to move the plant around a little bit. But that's what a low is supposed to be, a slow, calm speed. And that's exactly what we get here. And it's silent. You can't hear anything from this. It is completely silent. Very nice performance. I had bought this with the intention of leaving it here when I moved out, but I don't think I want to leave it anymore. I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to have to get another one of those cheap I'll get another one of the cheap fans like I have in the other room there, that little Mainstays Hugger or something, because this is good enough that I would install this in my house. It looks nice enough and it works nice enough. At least in the beginning, because I got a lot of ceiling fans I want to use, but almost all of them have bearing issues. So if I put these in, you know, they'll get me through the winter at least, and then when I have time to change out some bearings and get older fans going, you know, we'll swap them out. But this is definitely something that I would use in a new house. Really nice, smooth, quiet performance. Whoops. Never a dull moment. Absolutely never. Alright, let's cut it off. Yeah, this was a good find. A very pleasant surprise for a newer product. You know, for the most part, I'm not thrilled with newer products, but every now and again, you'll come across one, even if it's made in China, that's pretty good. And this is definitely one of them. Of course, now it's discontinued. That's also typically the running trend. If you find something that's good, it's usually almost out of stock or out of stock, but whatever. It's been a couple of months now since I bought this originally. I'm not sure if they have any more left. I should check.